Kedma, your fellow small business superhero. Today I want to talk about a really important topic. I want to talk about negotiation, both in business and in life. I had a chance over the weekend to meet with a really cool author, Martin, who wrote a book, 161 Negotiation Tactics, and I thought this is super important to talk with my followers because many of us really don't understand how to position ourselves when we're negotiating. And honestly, many of us are negotiating all the time, but maybe we're not doing it to the level that we need to. So I'm going to speak about the 5 questions that I think about before I walk into a negotiation. And I'd love to hear from you how you prepare for any negotiation that you're walking into. So the first question I ask myself is, why am I negotiating? Now, sometimes it's super obvious and sometimes it's not super obvious. So I have to ground myself, I have to be intentional, and I have to ask myself, why am I negotiating? You know, this is a really important piece. And you know, for many of you who are married or in long-term relationships, you could understand, why am I negotiating for this, right? So in business, I think the same way. Number 2, really, really important, so pay attention to this. What am I willing to give up to get what I want? Because in any negotiation, it is impossible in many cases to get everything you want. It just, you know, it's really, really hard, right? So what I have to ask myself is, before we go into the negotiation, what am I willing to give up, right? Because I want whatever's here and I have to be willing to give something up. So I'm always thinking about the what. The third question that comes through my mind all the time is, where is my positional power? We are all really, really powerful, and we have to be very clear on where our positional power is. And so when I walk into a negotiation, I'm really clear about where my positional power is, and that's really important because I know that that's going to play a role as I negotiate. Number 4, again, super important. When am I willing to walk away? The reality is that in many situations, you may have to walk away from the negotiation, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently, because there may be things on the table that are just not negotiable. Many times if I'm in a negotiation and we get to that place, I will say, that is not negotiable. That is not on the table to negotiate. I'm not negotiating this thing, but I'm willing to negotiate this, this, and this, and I am willing to walk away. So I intentionally, before I walk in to a negotiation, I set myself and I say to myself, okay, when am I willing to walk away? And lastly, who benefits from the negotiation deal? Because a lot of times, especially in my work, I am not necessarily negotiating just for my benefit. I'm negotiating sometimes on behalf of the group. I may be negotiating on behalf of just entrepreneurs or small businesses or inventors or women or, you know, veterans. So regardless of it, I have to think, who will benefit as a result of my negotiation? Because if I do not negotiate from a strong position, it may affect this person, this person, this person, or this group. So those are the 5 questions that I walk into every time I negotiate. I'm going to ask you, what do you do to prepare for negotiation? Okay, guys, thanks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.